Welcome to Flyer's Best of Oshkosh 2025 video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.
Okay, behind me is one of the probably the most hotly anticipated things at Oshkosh. It's the ME-262 from the Military Aviation Museum. The aircraft hadn't flown in quite a long time, and the internet got all on fire about the fact that they were getting it ready to fly it to Oshkosh, and here it is. So this ME-262 was one of a batch of 5 aircraft that was part of a project that started in the 90s. They took an original ME-262, meticulously measured it, and basically reproduced the replicas completely faithfully to original Messerschmitt standards, but they had modern engines which made them a lot more usable. Only 3 of the 5 are flying aircraft. There's 1 in Germany, 2 in the US, and 2 of the other airframes are static. But it's just a magnificent beast, and when you it's really quite big when you stand alongside it, and it's a big size fighter, and yeah, it's just it's a real talking point here. Everyone's watched it fly, and that's definitely an only Oshkosh moment when you can see an aeroplane like that flying with other fighters of its time. So we saw the ME-262 fly with P-51 in the display, and yeah, it's just great to see, only at Oshkosh. There's always amazing warbirds at Oshkosh, but this year there's a particularly special restoration. It's just been finished. It's this magnificent P38J Lightning called Wandina 3. It's been done for the Flying Heritage and Combat Armour Museum. It was recovered from Papua New Guinea, where it had been on the island as a wreck for many, many years, and restored for that museum. And you can see behind me there's bits and pieces of the original aircraft, and it's been essentially reconstructed in as new condition. And this thing, the details in it are just utterly stunning. Just the correct military primers, the correct fasteners, all the correct fittings, replica machine guns. The interior is perfect, even down to the blanks in the engine, just as it would have been in 1944. The aircraft, it was once flown by US Army Air Force's ace captain J.T. Robbins. He claimed his 18th and 19th aerial victories with this aircraft. He had 5 P-38s. This was the 3rd of those. P-38, obviously, fantastic aeroplane. The Lightning, everyone knows. The twin boom airframe, it just is absolute, everyone can identify it. And this restoration is just utterly magnificent. And it's what makes Oshkosh special, because this was only finished on the 25th of June, and it had not been seen, and so this was the unveiling. And that's the great thing, is if you come to Oshkosh, you get to see really special stuff like this. Well, it's the news that RV builders all around the world have been waiting for. Finally, the RV15 kits went on sale. Well, actually, it's just the wing kit. It's the first kit to be finished and finalised for the aeroplane, and it's went on sale on Monday for $19,650. Vans say that the wing kit is probably one of their most advanced and easiest to build kits so far. It's all pop riveted together. It's got a really clever fuel tank, a real interesting flap system with built-in vortex generators. And they're saying you can assemble it as a first timer real fast. They've had some non-builders put this wing together in less than 4 days. So that is pretty impressive. Vans are saying that tail kits next in line will go on sale in December 2025 with deliveries in March 2026. Fuselage orders will open in August 26 with deliveries in October 2026. Firewall forward kits will follow August 26 with deliveries in at the end of 2026. And finished kits, November 2026 will go on sale, deliveries at the end of that year too. Prices for those remaining kits are estimated to be $9,000 for the tail kit, $20,000 for the fuselage kit, $13,000 for the firewall forward kit, and $23,000 for the finish kit. RV, in terms of performance, they're promising something like a 900-pound useful load. All the RV handling that you've come to expect from Vans RVs, plus approach and landing speeds to compete with Cubs, and 140 knot cruise. They're saying you can basically, the line was land with the Cubs, fly with the 182s. Vans obviously coming out of, well, they are out of Chapter 11, they're operating to their recovery plan, and yeah, at their forum on Monday, it was all about new structure, so for the company, and yeah, they're getting on with stuff. Development of the RV15 is really important to them, and it's clearly very important to builders. There's a box over there for the first wing kit, and it's been signed by a whole bunch of people who've ordered the aeroplane already. So yeah, watch this space. RV15 is on the market.
The great thing about Oshkosh is the sheer variety of aircraft you get here, and they don't come much different than the Air Tractor Fireboss. This particular Fireboss, like all Firebosses, sits on a pair of Whipline 10,000s, but these floats have got a little trick up their, well, I was going to say up their sleeve, but I mean up their floats. Come take a look at this. Under there, if you look closely, you'll see a retractable scoop. This little scoop, and there's one on each float, is put down by the pilot, and they'll skim along a body of water, be that a lake or a river, and scoop up water. It takes 15 seconds to scoop up 800 gallons. The water goes into this tank, and then at the right time, the pilot will drop the water either all in one go or as a mist over the fire. The idea being that the aircraft is really quick to respond and gets to the fire before it has a chance to spread. Obviously on the ground it can be preloaded with either water or fire retardant. When they get caught up, they can be on scene, dropping the water, and then if there's a body of water nearby, they can refill as many times as they possibly can in the sort of, roughly speaking, 3 hours worth of fuel they've got. So absolutely fantastic beast of an aircraft, ideal for trying to get the fire sorted before they get out of hand. So this particular air tractor is the 2-seat version, so it's used for trading, but most of them are single seat. And one of the bigger challenges is finding people who have that kind of experience and background, who can be trained to be fire pilots. If you can imagine dropping 800 gallons of water in one go in probably less than a second or two, that makes a significant difference to the weight and balance and everything else of the aircraft. So, and it tends not to be done from comfort at altitude either, so a tough cookie.
One of the smallest aeroplanes here is also one of the biggest hits here at Oshkosh. Not only is it a new airframe, but it's also a new engine, and amazingly, it's been developed over the last, well, more than 10 years in secrecy, and the company's made a big splash here at Oshkosh. It's the idea of a guy called Steve Wood. He's an aero engineer you may not have heard of, but he's been involved in aeroplanes like the Cessna Caravan and the Skypup Ultralight. Turns out Steve's also a really big fan of the Chilton DW1. So if you're looking at this and going, hey, it's a Mittel Chilton, that's exactly why that is. As for coming up with a cool new aeroplane and getting it certified in secret, if that wasn't impressive enough, Spirit has also designed and built their own engine. They figured they needed it to make the aeroplane, you know, just perfect. So they developed an inverted V-twin that's 42 horsepower, burns 7.5 litres an hour, and it's been through years and thousands of hours of durability testing. Remember that bit I said about developing it in secret? So when the team finally decided to come to Oshkosh, and they didn't, they'd been on the fence about doing it, but a few months ago they were like, this is the year. They jumped in 4 of their aeroplanes, that's 4, and flew them all here in formation with a support aeroplane from Colorado, from their base in Grand Junction, and made a big arrival and set the place on fire, literally. As well as being an exquisite piece of design work and manufacturing, the SE-1 also has quick folding wings, pull a pin. Both of the wings will fold back. You fold an aileron and the wings stow alongside the fuselage. When it's folded, it will fit inside a regular shipping container, which is pretty cool. Talking of fitting, while that cockpit looks small, the canopy opens up and over and allows you to step inside real easily. I've done it myself, and people have been going, oh, it looks like you might stick out the top. Actually, it's a real big cockpit inside. Your seat is adjustable, and I fitted just nicely, which is really bad news, because it makes me want one. And they've got a full cockpit canopy in development at the moment. Empty weight is 190 kilograms, gross weight is 335 kilograms, stall speed 45 miles an hour, cruise at 75% is 100 miles an hour. The SE-1 is available to buy right now, and it's a ready to fly SLSA aeroplane with a base price of $69,500, so around about £51,700. That includes a Trig radio. Deliveries are going to start in autumn this year. How we might see the SE-1 in the UK remains to be seen, as the stall speed and weight is just outside SSDR. There's no kit option, so there's going to be no option of building it through the LAA, but it could fit in as a 600 kg microlight if someone decided to seek approval for the aeroplane. And I really hope someone does, because this is gorgeous, and it's been a long time since I've been in love with an aeroplane, and this is so beautiful. The Spirit SE-1, it's the thing that set Oshkosh on fire.
Hope you enjoyed that video from Oshkosh. Please like, comment and subscribe, and watch out for more.